being back in the Prime Minister's courtyard, and I do want to thank the Australian people for the very clear mandate that they've given my government. Today, we continue the work of continuing to build Australia's future. I promise to be a Prime Minister for all Australians, those who voted Labor, those who didn't, and hope to earn the trust of the Australian people on an ongoing basis. We are deeply humbled by the result on Saturday, and we don't take a second of it for granted. The hard work will continue today. My government has been an orderly government. We have worked hard. We've had effective ministers, but also an effective caucus. And we've engaged in a way that's clear.
This EOFY, get deals that don't blend in. Like 1.9% finance across variants when you finance with Nissan. All backed by Australia's only 10-year, 300,000-kilometre warranty.
That's forward-looking. That made not just a case that we had been a good government in getting inflation down, wages up, interest rates starting to fall, employment growing. We also had an effective offer going forward as well that resonated with people, that we developed in consultation with people. I said before the last election that you needed more than one term as a Labor government, and I saw it from that first day. Indeed, I became a Labor leader back in 2019. I want Labor to be the natural party of government. I think that given who we are, representing working people, but also effectively engaging with business and engaging with civil society, that we can make what is the best country on earth even better in the future. I am genuinely so optimistic that if we get this decade right, we can set Australia up for the many decades ahead. And that's why I put forward such a positive agenda, not just during the election campaign, but throughout my time as Labor leader. I do want to thank as well the world leaders who have passed on their congratulations, both those who've done that through the various social media forums that exist these days, those who've texted me, but also past leaders as well, friends like Tony Blair and Matteo Renzi and others as well who I've met and developed relationships with over the years. This morning and yesterday I've spoken with a number of leaders. I've spoken with Prime Minister Marape, President Prabowo of Indonesia, President Zelensky of Ukraine, Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Prime Minister Mark Carney, who invited me to attend the G7 in Canada in June, and I have accepted that invitation, and President Donald Trump of the United States. I have meetings scheduled, or phone calls scheduled this afternoon with Prime Minister Lawrence Wong. Can I take the opportunity on behalf of Australia to congratulate Prime Minister Wong, who was successfully re-elected with a substantial vote there in Singapore on Saturday. Lawrence Wong is a great friend of Australia. I've developed a good relationship with him, not just since his rise to the Prime Ministership, but as Deputy Prime Minister. He hosted me when COVID affected his predecessor, when I attended the Shangri-La Dialogue and had the honour of giving what is the most significant defence and foreign affairs speech in our region, but perhaps in the globe. Prime Minister Shinawatra of Thailand will have a chat scheduled tomorrow, along with Prime Minister Modi of my friend from India. We'll
Hi
continue
guys.
to schedule. That will be a bit of a
Hello.
focus over the next couple of days, as well as
How are you?
receiving briefings on Prime Minister and Cabinet. I had a briefing from the Treasury Secretary during the election campaign about the state of the economy going forward as well. And I look forward to engaging. We're going to try and slow the pace a little bit over coming days, I'll consult with colleagues about forming a front bench down the track. We obviously, there are a number of results that are unclear in electorates, but it's very clear that we will have a substantial majority in the House of Representatives. And I'll make this point. We had a majority last time in the House of Representatives. I treated people with respect. My door is open to members of any political party or none who are elected as members of the House of Representatives or the Senate. They all deserve to be treated with respect. If people have good ideas, we're up for hearing them. But I said here, on about 3,422 occasions, that my objective was forming a majority government. That's what we did. And that is a good thing, I think, for the country. Happy to take some questions. Phil.
Congratulations on your win.
Thanks very much.
You said in your opening comments about having a very clear mandate. There's already a sort of a cavalcade of various interests saying you should go beyond that mandate. What's your message to that? And bearing in mind, you're much likely to have a much friendlier Senate this time, probably just the Greens is all you'll need. What do you say to those people who say go beyond what you took to the election?
We're not getting carried away. We've been an orderly government. We've been a reform government. The thing that I reject is the idea that we haven't been ambitious. Look at our agenda on the clean energy economy, on childcare, on gender equality, on education, where we went beyond where we said we would. I didn't promise to deliver surpluses. We delivered two. We've been an ambitious government. We'll continue to be an ambitious government, but we won't get carried away, and we'll continue to engage. I will continue to respect people like one of the conversations I've had is with Jackie Lambie in Tasmania. Her result was still a little bit unclear, but she's someone I respect. On Vets Affairs, I'll talk to Jackie Lambie every day of the week, whether she's in the Senate or not. That's my style. I engage with people. I engage friendly with people. All of you here, I engage in spite of some, shall we say, interesting observations that are made from time to time, but I treat people with respect. Katina.
Are you a full-stack marketer spending all day switching between platforms? Now with SEMrush Toolkits, no more run from one app to the next. You pick and pay for exactly what you need, all in one place.
Ministry, will the reshaping of caucus and the proportions of different states having more representatives now change the way the ministry is formed? Particularly getting at when will WA get a second cabinet minister? And can I just pick up? Did you say you'd spoken to Donald Trump, and what can you tell us about that conversation?
On the first, because we're going to stick to the rules from day one here. And on the first, I respect the caucus. I'll engage with discussions with my colleagues rather than at press conferences with respect, and I'll treat them with the respect that they deserve. We are overflowing with talent, that's the truth. We have so many people who you could put forward, and I think it's one of the things that the Australian people saw during this election campaign. Half of the shadow cabinet, when I was sitting on the bus with you fine folk, or had you on the plane, I'd sometimes do a little trivia quiz of what is Person X's portfolio as a shadow minister, and none of you knew. We have an incredibly talented team on the front bench, but also in the caucus. People are entitled to have ambitions. You know what my ambition is for? My ambition's for the country.
Your contact with Donald Trump, was that a telephone conversation? What can you tell us about it?
I had a very warm and positive conversation with President Trump just a short while ago when I was at the lodge, and I thank him for his very warm message of congratulations. We talked about how AUKUS and tariffs will continue to engage We will engage with each other on a face-to-face basis at some time in the future. But it was a very warm, and I thank him for reaching out in such a positive way as well. Which one? You argue within each other.
Just on
The Oz get one.
just back on the ministry, are we expecting relative continuity, or is there a chance for a fair refresh? And there's been a rumour that Tanya Plibersek's could go to the NDIS portfolio. Can you confirm that that's been considered?
Well, just nonsense, as you were told yesterday, Greg. People have got to stop. The only person who knows is me. You were told by my office yesterday that was nonsense. The words are coming out, mate, with respect.
Are we expecting further?
No, look, I've said I respect the caucus. I respect the caucus. But I say to all of you, if you hear something, it is, unless it comes out of my mouth, it is nonsense. And, you were told that yesterday.
Minister, now that you have this second term, what are your top priorities for achievements that you were unable to push through in the first term, and will Nature Positive be one of those?
Well, look, I said very clearly I want a federal EPA. That was something that was recommended by the review that the Coalition commissioned. I want a federal EPA that supports industry but also supports sustainability. I think that can be achieved. And that's my objective. We have other agenda has been held up, some of it, on housing. We have an ambitious challenge to build housing. I note that both the Coalition and the Greens housing spokespeople won't be in the Parliament. I think part of the reason why they're not in the Parliament is that they held up public housing. They held up emergency housing for women and children escaping violence. They held up our Build to Rent scheme. They held up our Help to Buy scheme. And I say this message to the Senate and to members of the House of Representatives that, we have a clear mandate to build more housing.